Okay, page 76, number 23. A physics student obtains the following data involving a ball rolling down an inclined plane, where t is the elapsed time in seconds and y is the distance traveled in inches. Find an algebraic model that fits this data. Now, a nice way to do this, even though we have a table, we have a numerical model, is to look at a graph to see the shape of it. Because, I mean, is it linear? Is it quadratic? Is it exponential? I'm just using those three because as I look at the numbers, they're going up. But are they going up at a constant rate, at a constant multiplying rate, or as a quadratic rate? So, good thing to do is to pick up your calculator. And I'm going to show this example in the 84 because it has a nice big screen for me to show. But you can do this on your Inspire as well. You would have to open a list in spreadsheets, put your data in, and then open a data page and create a scatter plot. If you don't know how to do that, we will be going over it in class if we haven't done it already. So anyway, what I did first was I had to put the data in my list, and I put it in L1 and L2. And if you have an Inspire, this is where you would open the data sheet, and you would put the data under, create two lists, and you can call one time and the other distance. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit second, y equals, and as you can see, I have my scatter plot ready to go. I turn the plot on, I make sure it's on scatter plot, then my x list is L1 and my y list is L2. And if you have an Inspire, you would want to open a new page and open up that data page where you can see your graphs. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit zoom 9, and as I see, it's kind of looks linear, but to me it's looking a little more quadratic. But is it exponential? So what you can do then is you can go under stat and go over to calculate, and you can do a regression model. Now you can do that from your graph in your Inspire as well. If you do menu and then you do analyze, all your regression menu choices are in there. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do a linear regression. So I'm going to choose number 4, and I'm going to make sure that the X list is L1, the Y list is L2, and I'm just going to hit enter here under calculate, and I see that it gives me a slope of 6, a y-intercept of -4, and an r value of about 0.96. That tells you how accurate it is. If that is not turned on in your calculator, if you just have your A and your B, what you want to do is you want to go under mode, and at near the bottom in blue where it says Stat Diagnostics, you want to make sure that is on, and Stat Wizards, turn that on as well. And then you'll get your models. So going back to my screen, which will be gone again, I'll just go through that one more time in case you didn't see it. Stat number 4. I'll just enter through these screens because they're all set up correctly. And so I want to write down on my paper so I have it, y equals 6x minus 4. So let me go ahead and do that right here. So if I were doing a linear, I would do y equals 6x minus 4. Okay, so now let's do another model. So I go under stat, go over to calculate, and then you can see number 5 is quadratic. Let's just go down the list and do them in order. Everything should still be set up. And again, if you have an Inspire from your graph, you want to hit menu, analyze, regression. The list is there for you to do as well. Okay, and so I have an r-squared value of 1, which is pretty good. That means it's 100% accurate. So what this is saying is there's no B, there's no C, that my quadratic equation would be y equals 1.2 x squared. So let's write that down. That's looking pretty good. And then finally, just to be sure, let's do, because the graph does look a little exponential, so let's do an exponential model. So again, over to calc, and now I'm going to have to go to the next page because I do believe it's 0. I don't have it on this page. So yep, there it is. It is EXP regression. So I have to go up one. And so I'm going to choose that. And I have everything set up here again. Oops, I have an error. And I know why I have an error, and I have to take that out. And one reason why I forgot about that. So if you're doing a linear regression model, the way it calculates it, it's going to do some division calculations. So you can't have 0 as an x value in here. So I need to delete this entry. Okay, because an exponential model, you can't have 0. So let me go back under stat, tests, and I'm just going to choose 0 because that's where it was. So now when I do that, I get this model, and you can see this model has an R value that is 97% accurate. I'm not even going to bother to write that one down because the one that is the best model is going to be my quadratic. So it's this model. So that's our algebraic model.